Hello guys, and welcome to a new League of Legends video. Today we will see DNS Supers against T1 in the LCK in this game 1. We can see the matchups on this game. We have Gwen against Sion in the top lane, Nocturne against Lee Sin in the jungle, in the mid lane, Azia against Orianna, and in the bot lane, Caitlyn Bar and Ezreal Nico. Let's see how it goes, guys. Let's see the first game of this match.
Yeah, Peter's slight lead is we are going to see this first dragon go over to T1, unfortunately for DNS. And Peter's roams have been unsuccessful in terms of leading.
I imagine he's getting a lot of chimes though.
Yeah,
so, I mean that's a positive. You do like to get out onto the map as Pyosik taking a bit of damage from Faker. The train comes out as Pyosik is going to flash out of the way, still gets slowed, and the Q's charged up. Oh dearie me, this guy is definitely dead, and it's Faker that locks down that kill. First blood over to the Orianna. Disaster.
Have to use his ultimate in order to take him down.
As Dudu now is some needlework. Doran just looking to try and get out of here. Doesn't have the ulti up and available, and does have to flash. Is now Pyosik in trouble. The smite is eaten by a spell shield, but he's still very, very dead. As Faker once again going to take down Pyosik, and Dudu just running away from the entirety of the situation. 0-2 for Pyosik. We were talking about it before.
Expectations.
Yeah. So far, not necessarily working out. Dudu going aggressive, gets the flash over the top as Doran looks to move towards Ona, but he goes down. They now look to try and trade it. They will be able to do that, but a 1-for-1 is not what they were looking for. Great. And it was Pyosik with a decent CS lead, getting more camps as Paranoia finally comes out. Pop Blossom is going to put him up into the sky though as he's kicked back, and Ona does manage to follow. Doctom now here as the Tempered Fate comes on down, but it's just not going to really do enough as Doctom is in a whole lot of trouble. As T1 are circling like sharks right now. The wave not quite here just yet, as Doctom looks to just try and chase Ona out of here. Peacemaker comes on through, and he knows that he's dead. And he's finished off by a sonic wave of all things.
Already has a pickaxe in his inventory.
Yeah, it's just pick your poison, really. It's just not good on either side.
There's any chance, there's any magic that's going to happen tonight, sadly, is maybe it happens here.
Yep, there's the Paranoia to come on through. Pyosik already down to half health, though, as we can see. That is a decent Cosmic Binding, as the Tempered Fate is weird, to say the least. Now the ulti comes through from Doran. There's some miss down, so the Gwen is indeed immune. And Dudu will be okay, but for a bit of an angle here. Does find some needlework now as Doran could be in trouble. Snip comes on through, and does he have another charge? The answer is he doesn't need one. He's going to flash forward, picks up the solo bolo, and I don't know whether it's going to be enough to actually turn this game around, but it's a good look for Dudu.
I mean, if they're occupied on this Herald, maybe he can get a turret here, possibly first turret of the game. I think you probably just risk it. He has TP. He's the only one who has a gold lead in this game anymore.
And he's the most important one to have one.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the 4-1 win condition. Well, he does definitely need to be strong as Shockwave comes down towards Closer, taking a lot of damage now. Good avoidance as the ulti removes Ona from the equation, but Faker is still so incredibly low.
Faker didn't have flash, but he does not commit.
It was actually a really cute play.
So he goes in with the charge Q because he knows he can get his Q off first before Doran will reactivate. Gets the ult off here. Doesn't have his ult anymore, but has his Q. Just enough mana to use it here before you know it. And Closer's going to play very respectfully here and just let this turret go in exchange.
Yep.
And say, look, I mean, there's no way I'm going to defend this.
Yeah. And they also, I think, knew that Carrier was in the area. Ona was stealing the camps on the bottom side.
They have vision everywhere else, so he's actually just straight up here. So there's no side lane pressure while they try to slow this down. See if they can secure the smite. I mean, that would make it worth it.
Yeah, let's see whether Ona comes over and looks for this. He is certainly going to do so as Pyosik can use the ulti to reposition, but the Pop Blossom onto 3. Pyosik gets into the backline, but Carrier has already created so much of a problem. He does go down as they now look for the angle. A double kill for Closer just before he goes down as Peter just barely staying alive. Pays in a lot of trouble, but Doctom as well contending with Doran as Dudu looking to cut him up. It's a double kill for the Lee Sin, and they manage to take the Drake, and Ona is able to take down
he can stop the retreat
as well. It's, oh my goodness. Does smite down Shelly as Pyosik looks to try and get out of there. There's Resonating Strike. It's a Quadra, and Ona's looking for a potential Penta angle. He does find the Q onto Dudu, and he is of course going to follow it, but I don't think they're going to be able to take down the Gwen right now. Straight into a trap. If that actually had have happened, if he wasn't that pixel further away, That whole fight could have been different as Shockwave connects onto Closer, but he is focused on taking down this turret. They should be able to do so. That gold lead moving back towards 3K as Tempered Fate comes in. It catches Pyosik, but not Carrier as the fear is still going to connect. Needlework comes on down. That's Ace to lock up the kill for Doctarm. But now Owner is making his way in, finds a resonating strike. Dudu, he's able to immune that ultimate coming out from the Ezreal, but Pyosik not a lot of options. The train is going to pass the station here as Dudu is deceptively tanky with his Riftmaker, but still, Owner is such a beast. Doran likely to fall down, however, survives somehow as Dudu goes into the mist and is able to keep himself up. Closer has a fair bit of damage, but now without the Gwen, this could be problematic. Q connects, the Empress Divide doesn't do enough, and it's Pays that locks down the kill on the Azir.
Some of these fights have just felt too close for comfort for T1, and yet they've still pulled it off thanks to Owner's incredible Lee Sin. But man, I look at how DNS have played this mid game. They had a great macro read with the top and outer and top. It gives you hope that this roster definitely has something in it, but they are so far behind now.
Well, let's see whether they can find an angle here as the flash in from Dudu gets vision as well as they dive on top of the Ezreal. Pays just doesn't get to play the game. Pop Blossom trying to use defensively, but Carrier will be able to keep himself alive. And now makes his way in. My God, the damage of this Lee Sin. And the Shockwave is able to pick up the kill as well. Down goes Peter. The Empress Divide is there, but Closer, I don't think he's likely to survive this one. And Faker says absolutely not. Takes out that golden bird, and DNS are forced to run for the hills.
It's just another almost miracle win for DNS where you're like, oh, how did they out-rotate T1 again? And then ultimately, they didn't, right? No. Tempered Fate does not actually really get them a whole lot there in the fight. It actually kind of buys T1 time for Owner to get over there and save the day again. Do them a big favor as...
Okay, Dudu teleporting in, does get into the mist in time as Doran is just getting cut apart. They will be able to take out the Scion. The question is, do T1 have anything else? True Shot Barrage is decent amount of damage as Doran is still trying to get work done. Dudu in a lot of trouble, and Pays will be able to take him out. There's the kickback onto Pyosik. The follow-up not quite there, though, as he does flash his way out.
Way towards this dragon, but I think it's just going to be too late. Close takes a huge chunk.
Oh, Pyosik. They don't have another scries. They should be able to do so pretty comfortably. Gold lead moving towards 7K. They have the Chemtech sold. As Magical Journey brings Dudu in. They're looking for Pays once again. As he does get himself out. There's the Tempered Fate. Pop Blossom is going to connect. As Dudu moving all the way up. And now Closer looks for the Empress Divide. They find it. And they grab the kill onto Faker. Carrier goes down as well. But it's Owner that is the true carry here. Kickback once again. But the Q doesn't land. It's Peter. Looks to get on top of Pays, and Dudu is going to assassinate him. Now it's Owner and Doran against the world, and the DN Supers, once again they find a team fight. This one looks even better.
Yeah, this time they actually kind of win it. They actually, in fact, do win it. As Doran is dying in live, or nearly dying.
Yeah, someone was dying as they look for the angle, the flank opportunity, but the kickback comes through to disengage. Peter is tagged by the Sonic Wave. Resonating strike comes on through as now Dudu is fighting against Owner, and Owner likes those odds. Able to take the double kill as he takes matters into his own hands. A triple for the Lee Sin. DNS, we don't need to play game 2. Let's just give POM to Owner and move on. But instead, we want as much League of Legends as possible. But what an incredible performance from this guy. Doran going to be able to soften up these Nexus turrets straight into the queue. Beautiful shockwave from Faker as the Pop Blossom going to pick them up, put them down. And the DN Supers will be laid to rest as T1 off the back of their jungler are going to dominate in this later stage of the game. One team fight looked like hope.
1-0.
No, not today, my friends.
Let's go.
I was his Lee Sin just as incredible as always.
I was impressed by...
Hey guys again, and welcome to the second game of this match. T1 against DN Supers. We have the pick and bans ready. And let's see what are the matchups in this match. We will see Gnar against Sylas in the top lane. In the jungle, Xin Zhao against Pantheon. In the mid lane, Faker Annie against Aurora. And in the bot lane, Lucian Emilio against Yunara Lulu. Let's see how it goes in this game too.
But there's the flash out. Both of them leaving. But they're so close to dead. Owner also in a little bit of trouble, but will be able to tank up 2 turret shots. More mid-game focused with this composition. So I do think that there is, still some game to be played. but the tempo vibes, Wolf, certainly feeling pretty T1 favored, and that is going to continue as Dudu dashes away, but will probably need to flash if he actually wants to escape. Does find the Crescent Guard, though, as he flashes out of the way of the Nara ultimate. Now Pyosik finds Faker as there is Closer going between the worlds.
Careful.
A lot of value with this ulti as now Ona has to flash away as well. And Closer picks it up off the back end to even out the kill score.
Massive there from Closer, gets the Q2 to finish off. And so he is going to be fine. Duckdom, that is, will hit level 6 in just a moment. Still, I wouldn't call him safe per se.
Pyosik is coming.
Pyosik, it does have ult.
He has ult.
These might be baited here a little bit.
Yeah, Duckdom is going to dash on forward. There's the ulti in from Pyosik, who flashes on in, but the cleanse is going to be there as Carrier had hit level 6. Still there to kill Emilio, and they will be able to do so as now the Arc of Ruin comes in. The flash has to be used, and the spear just barely. Man, you just need to do like 3 extra push-ups yesterday.
Damage. There's not a stacked Q on this spear, but in live.
In the meantime, Dudu looking for an angle here as Doran's in trouble. The chain lash comes in. He just needs a little bit more as he finds the solo just before he gets taken out. Ona does get the challenge, but damn, that's going 1-for-1. Brilliant there for Dudu.
We'll have to TP, and the waves are not in a good spot for Faker. As we'll watch what happened here. It's from Dudu. It's a passive here, gets the stolen Gnar, and gets him to spite the flash. Wow.
What the beast.
So the chain lash damage does come in, and yeah, does manage to find it in the end.
Just barely. Also calls out the no flash on the Gnar.
Just with how powerful that W can be.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's extended fights. Doesn't have Conquer, but still.
Faker taking most of his health bar. The dash cannon to finish it off, and he just overstays.
What are you doing, Faker?
Didn't have, he didn't want to TP back there. The wave was in a horrible spot. Faker's in this awkward spot where he's trying to fix the wave, and he just gets knocked down. He will have the TP to return to lane, but I don't think he's really interested in coming anywhere near Closer anytime soon, as T1 will at least be able to use this bottom side prior here to grab Dragon.
Now let's check it out from Closer's perspective. Just hits everything. And that's kind of what happens, as even looking at what Pyosik was doing in the middle of solo killing Faker in that moment.
I think he was kind of he just knew, like, I have the damage for this. Faker shouldn't stay here. Flashy plays for DNS is that their main carry, he just can't get the money. He's not farming. He's 30 CS down. He's zoned off the turret. So it looks good in some areas, but Pyosik?
Okay, does get stunned as Closer goes in, but still, Faker taking a lot of damage. The flash forward to get the stun, and Pyosik locks down another one.
Nice, Pyosik.
As Pei's pushing out this bottom lane once again, and this is still a problem for DNS to solve. But it's less careful, as the rest of the map seems to be going pretty well. Malignant's done here for Faker as the ulti comes through from Dudu. Ona looking for an angle, but the dash cannon does get Dudu out of there. Vision, but you can see the bottom lane just going to be rotating towards Closer. Pei's wanted to get rid of this Aurora, who does just bounce through her ultimate.
Ooh, Faker, he does have his ult, but he cannot stay.
Faker is
there's
dead.
The stun coming down as Duckdom looking to finish off this Annie. He will be able to do so. Tibbers gets angry, but isn't going to be able to do anything about this, as the 50 gold goes over to Pyosik this time.
Duckdom's like, all right, you didn't give me the kill. You could have at least given me Tibbers. Come on.
Here by the DN Supers so far, and plate gold going over to Duckdom.
I mean, it turns out putting the Sylas in the top lane and putting the Aurora in mid was absolutely the call for DNS.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
Doran does have Mega coming up. Doesn't quite find the wall up. There's the ulti as they both just throw each other into the same wall. And Pyosik turns up exactly when he needs to finish off the Gnar. Flash out from Dudu to keep him safe.
I thought we learned, like, is it just me? It seemed like my read was that Pantheon was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we're not supposed to give that to the other teams.
That is something that everyone has been attempting to learn throughout this week.
I'm looking at the 4-0-1. I'm like, this is not the first time. Like, I'm not surprised in favorite players, but it's kind of a Pantheon issue. It's not like Pyosik is like some sick Pantheon we didn't know about. This isn't really surprising or new information. He's just at the right place at the right time. He's a world-class, world champion jungler, and he's just able to make impacts everywhere. And DNS are playing aggressive, and he is just helping finish off so many of these critical kills.
This damage from the Yunara. Carry similar situation here alongside Pei's, but I think we're going to need to see some team fights and what it's going to look like from T1 and how they're going to be able to navigate it to see how this game is going to go. As the Rift Herald does come down in this mid lane, should be able to get a charge in order to take out this turret. Shelly will be able to do that. So That is a second turret going over to T1.
T1 are not able to get this turret just yet. They spent a lot to try to do so, and so this is
even enemy Tibbers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, tanking up the turret to make sure that he will have a huge wave to stack up towards this inner as well. Faker will be able to get that cannon, which is going to be fantastic, but does demand some attention.
A big swing of gold there while they put the pressure on to take that turret out, knowing that Dudu didn't have TP. And he just barely gets it and gets away. There's no grubs this game on either side, so sit in these fights because they have such great setup for him, such great front line. He's got wild growth. He's got both his summoners available for this next fight. DNS are ready to go for it.
Let's go.
Koshik going in. They're looking for the angle towards Pays, who throws down the culling, and in goes Closer. I'm not sure about that one. Bounces out immediately.
Oh,
and
Doran.
there's the Gnar from Doran. Finds the angle as Closer will be taken down. Koshik out of the fight as well as Ona picks up the double, and he's continuing to dash forward. A decent polymorph there from Life, but Ona will not have it still. He does go down, but he takes the Inara with him. And Dudu's fed, but I don't think he's fed enough. It's Pays that takes him down, and it only costs them one jungler.
Doran just kind of flipping the equation on better Gnar in this team fight. They got so much more. It's a huge swing of gold, and it looks like they might even be able to get this inner here. Pays is walking the tightrope on it.
Yeah, in goes Dudu though, looking for a bit of an angle, but he just gets blown up before he can do anything at all. The knockback onto the Pantheon as well, and now Doctor unable to do anything. T1, I think, have just won the game. The wall comes through, down goes Closer, and blink and you'll miss it as the game is just kind of over.
I don't even know if it was flashed by Pays or what. It looked like Pyoshik went in and the wild growth just missed. Like, he straight up missed.
And it might have been Melio.
Nice.
Yeah, it could have been. It was
guys.
very messy, and that's just the game. Okay,
2-0.
Good try, DNS.
It felt like this game was like really kind of teetering and close, and we were heading towards 30 minutes, and now it's just done. T1 with a 2-0 over the DN Supers.
Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this series. Super amazing. 2-0 for T1. We can see Owner did an insane game 1, an insane game 2 for me. The double MVP is for him. And see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.